Salute and shalom. All praise and honor to the Most High Yah. Um, I'm going to just start talking. I didn't write anything down. This topic is more so about myself right now. And what I've been really doing since the last time I truly uploaded a video with substance. I know my last video was about, really unlocking my mind and speaking of different topics, that the Most High has enlightened me to, and I know I have a better knowledge of, and how I see things, so to speak. But nevertheless, even this video, although I have nothing written down on paper to talk about, this is kind of like the segue into that. So I'll bring out myself first, I'm gonna try not to make this video too long, but basically I've seen a lot. I'm 48 years old. I've been in a lot of different situations. Where I'm at a place and time in my life where I'm purging out a lot of things that have affected me negatively. And not only, I don't want to just say negatively, but definitely positive as well. Not being a spring chicken, you deal with a lot of things. You've dealt with a lot of things. I mean, it's from friendships, whether that be male friendships, female companionships, marriage. You see a lot. That's just inevitable as life goes on. If you've spent a significant time here on this earth, you're gonna go through a lot of different situations. But and they can shape you. They can shape your mind. You can see things that changes your outlook on relationships. I'll say, give me an example. Relationships. It'll change your perspective on being in the workplace. So that's kind of how, where I want to start at is how my mind has been shaped. I've had people tell me I need help. And to that, I just respond by, my help is relying on the Most High and His Ruach, and His Ruach HaKodesh, His Spirit, His set-apart Spirit. The Word that is written, There's a lot of self-help books that people like to recommend. People recommend therapy, people recommend having psychiatric help and things of that sort. And to each his own. I believe my therapy, my psychiatric help is relying on the Ruach and Yah's word. I don't see how going to someone who has their own problems can tell you how to fix your problems. That's just me, but like I say, to each his own. Don't get me wrong. I think at the same time, I can talk to friends and family of mine about problems that I'm having or they're having, and you could possibly get some kind of clarity out of it. But to rely on that when that man or woman is just as flawed as me, I just will rely. I would just like to put my trust, faith, and my worship into the Most High to help me through my problems. Prayer, fast, and also to deal with like-minded people. Like I said, people suggest certain self-help books, and that's fine and dandy, and my self-help book is the scriptures. I think it covers a multitude of topics and issues just as well as any self-help book that's out there. Matter of fact, I think the scriptures is what actually created other self-help books. I believe that it all generates right back to this. But that's just me. And I'm not knocking anybody that feels different. You feel different, you feel different. I'm at a point where I'm not arguing with nobody, and even if people was to get down in this comment section and state their opinions and their perspectives, you have that right. Bless you. Seriously. Much shalom to you. But yeah, getting back on topic, I've been shaped born into sin, shaped in iniquity, just as anybody else. And as I say, me truly striving in obedience to the Most High and really reflecting on my own behaviors and actions, not just towards others, but more importantly, to myself. I think that is what's important, how, not only how you are treating others, but how you treat yourself, what are you putting in yourself, ultimately affects what you put out, you know what I mean? So, and with that being said, things that you've dealt with, whether positive or negative, once again, really sets the mindset. Trust is a big one for me. I had to really reflect on, Ryan, do you trust yourself? And for a long time, I can say no. I did not trust myself with myself by living recklessly. Living recklessly put me in a certain state where my body was inflamed, because of choices, decisions, and that's why I'm saying, a lot of things we can go and blame others, but ultimately it all comes back to you and where you did not control yourself, where you made a choice and that choice affected you, whether positive or negatively. But I know that I've made a lot of choices in this 48 years of my life that affected me negatively. And that's what goes along with prayer and fasting and reflecting, not to dismiss what others may have done to you, myself, you know what I mean? That doesn't take away from that. However, what I'm saying is, ask yourself, when someone did do you negatively, what was it that you could have controlled? Because you only can control yourself. You can't control others. You can't make someone do what you want them to do. You learn that over time. And I'm still learning that, even at 48, but more so now is being driven all the way in, so trust, with myself. And now I'm at a point where I'm trusting myself to make better choices in my everyday life, to live peaceably. That's the best way I could say it, to live peaceably, starting from what I do first thing in the morning, what I'm putting into myself as far as the foods that we're eating, what it is that I'm consuming, through the eyes, through the ears, not just what I'm consuming through the food. And those things, if they are good in the sight of the Most High, they should reflect from the inward part unto the outward. So that's first and foremost. Not so much about trusting others, trusting yourself with how you treat yourself. Staying out of bull crap, things that don't benefit you. Some people do certain things which may not be conducive for you. You have to strive to not fall into that, where you want to do what others is doing. And what they may be doing works for them, but it doesn't work for you. So trusting yourself, trusting yourself. I mean, we can get off into trusting others. And the book does say, don't put your trust in man. I'm a man, though. Ryan, don't put your trust in yourself. Put your trust in the Most High. You know, like I said, you know, I can get on here and say I don't trust women or I don't trust men. You know, and although that may be true, that what's it called? I can't think of what it's called, but however it goes, it comes back around to you. Okay, where you have to trust in you to make the right choices amongst the people. You know, and that's pretty much where I'm at as far as purging myself. You know, I've done a lot of things against myself. You know, smoking, drinking, you know, whoredom, deceiving, lying, stealing, cheating. You know, these are all choices that I make or I have made that have put me in positions of negativity. You know, so purging these things out the system, to not do those things. Focus on yourself. You can't control others. You can control yourself. It's all about the choices. It's all about decisions. You know, and that's where I'm at nowadays. Yeah, you know, we're almost a 20-minute mark. I'm like I said, I'm gonna keep this short. You know, like I say, I've seen those things that have hurt me, and I don't want to continue to let things hurt me. So I try to make better choices, and trust in myself to make the better choice. You know, yeah, I've seen men, you know, I don't trust men around my woman, so to speak. You know what I mean? But, Ryan, what kind of situation are you putting you and your woman into? You know, you know, because as a man, I understand a man's thoughts, you know, but even with not trusting a woman, you know, I can't control her and how she acts, or, you know, the things that she may do. If a woman does something against me, I can still only control how I respond. You know, I've dealt with women that have been with my cousin. Real talk, you know what I'm saying? Now, did I fly off the handle? Actually, in that situation, I think I controlled myself pretty decent, you know, and I was a way younger man than I am now. I was in either early 20s or mid 20s when that happened, but, you know, that's what I mean by these certain things that can shape your mind. You know, seeing how men can go behind your back and do things. Seeing how women can go behind your back and do things. You know, and then somebody will tell you, you know, if you've dealt with these certain things that you need help. That may be true. Nonetheless, those things did still happen, you know, so, but coming back to it, you can only control how you respond to those things. You know, you can either continue to deal with it, even when you know that it's disrespect towards you, or you can let things be and say, you know what, man, if that's how you gonna be, you stay over there. Woman, if that's how you gonna be, you stay over there, because I'm trying to be respectful and in decency, so trust for me has been one of the things that has truly been tainted in my life. That has truly been damaged, but going back to it, I have to take the onus. I still have to take the onus, even though people have done things, different women in my life have done things towards me that I've seen with my own eyes. That's another thing, seeing things, how you can't erase what the mind has processed. You can't erase it, but you can control how you respond to it, knowing that men have gone behind me and spoke ill of me, to gain for themselves, trust is a big thing, trust is a big thing. So, like I said, in my video just yesterday, bringing out different topics, unlocking the mind. That's where I'm at now. And I wanted to address myself first before I really go into the other things. And I'm not done addressing myself. This is going to be one of I don't know how many to set the foundation, and then go into why I speak certain way. I speak and think a certain way, and that's where it's at. So, but I tell you, taking the initiative to fast and pray, pray and fast and pray, pray and fast, trust, believe, have faith in the Most High has truly been helping. Putting the right things within my system, whether it be ear gate, eye gate, mouth, not eating for sport, but eating for fuel. Not indulging in the alcohol anymore. I left smoking alone a long time ago, and that's been a help. Am I saying not to enjoy yourself? Like, listen, this is where I'm at. I do realize I'm a grown man and I can have whatever it is I want to have, whatever it is I want to do. I realize that. But is it beneficial for me? And I have to make that choice and trust in that choice. You know what I'm saying? So if I make a choice and then next thing I know, I'm regretting the choice, it goes back to trusting myself. So, trust. That's a big one for me. That's a big one. And I've lost trust for a lot of people. A lot of, regaining the trust for myself is one thing. Having trust for others has to be worked on next, because I've seen a lot of things and heard things, had things done to me, whether mentally, physically, financially, you know. So, you know. But the key is right now is for me to see myself in that mirror and be like, all right, Ryan, let's start with you first. What have you done? What have you done? So that's one. I'm gonna have to write that down and hopefully keep this thing rolling. You know, I'm motivated and hopefully things get better, you know, as far as the content creation and, you know, bringing out with clarity what's on the mind. Bless y'all. Much shalom. And hallelujah.